Sandra Richardson is a dual American-Australian citizen who came to Taos in 1994. In 2021, she self-published on Amazon her first magical realism novel, which won 4 New Mexico Arizona Book Awards, called Splinters, A Modern Mythic Journey. In December of 25, she founded the 100th Monkey Society, which she might mention about today. And that is her title, Maintenance of a 100th Monkey Higher Consciousness. Go for it, honey.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me in Zoom?
Closer.
Yes. You gotta get it right on ya. Right on ya, baby. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's much.
All right. You okay, Zoom people? Yes? All right.
You're not in.
Except I can't see over it. But anyway, yes. Nice to see you all here. And little did I know that you always learn something. Little did I know that the Egyptians gave a care about apes. So, and that we're all connected, basically, is what everyone says, which is why I started the 100th Monkey Society, because we are all connected. And I started it as a group where you can come. We have presentations the 3rd Saturday of every month from 1 to 3. And you can join if you give me your email after the service. I will send you the announcements of who's speaking. And I'll try to do better than, you know, who. TN. Anyway. But the thing is, whether you join the 100th Monkey Society or not, I believe we are all the 100th monkey. And so I just want to help you with some tips and tools and techniques to keep that, once you get into higher consciousness, to nurture it and keep it going. Because like anything, if you don't feed it, it tends to not do well. So the journey never stops. I think individual consciousness doesn't necessarily come as an aha moment. It comes in a series of events, a stepping stone. I talked about that a bit last time. Stepping stones that eventually lead you to a place where you have real change. And that real change is when you tip into awareness of higher consciousness, and it moves, and your connection with all, and it moves from your head to your heart. Mm-hmm. You feel a connection with all that is, and that field is unconditional love. So, to get there, it might seem like it takes a lot of work. It doesn't. One of my mentors is a psychic healer and channeler named James Van Prague. And he assures me of 2 things. One, that there is no death. And the second thing is, the reason there's no death is because all of us are approximately 70% spirit and 30% physical. So we're actually spiritual beings already here on earth, having a physical experience. So that's the good news. You don't have far to go to get to higher consciousness. You're virtually over halfway there. And the way to access that the quickest, I've been told by many teachers, is if you approach it and send messages and touch into the feeling of love. Apparently love is like spiritual rocket fuel. It just sends your essence to the spirit realm. So let's see if that's true. You want to try a little exercise with me? Okay, good. You too on Zoom. First of all, just relax, get centered, close your eyes, just so you don't get distracted. And take a deep breath. And as you're breathing that deep, beautiful air in, I want you to go to your heart and feel love. Feel that place of love within you. I think of it as my heart center, but you can find it wherever you feel it. The important thing is the emotion, the feeling. And I like to give it a color. And the color I like is hot pink. So it's throbbing with love energy. And I'd like you to create a little bubble of this hot pink love energy in your heart center. And really jump inside that bubble and feel it. Feel that love energy. And then send that feeling of love energy to every atom in your being. Feel it flow through you and energize you. And then I'd like you to take your magic wand bubble wand, and imagine that energy going out to every person in this room. So you're surrounding each and every one, and the people on Zoom, with this bubble of unconditional love. And then send it further, make it bigger. Make that bubble surround and engulf and infuse every creature, every human, every plant, every animal in Taos. Infuses them with this beautiful envelope of love. And then expand that bubble even further to all of America, giving each and every spirit this sharing of unconditional love energy. And then go for it. Expand that bubble through the entire world. Every creature, every person, every plant, animal, vegetable, and mineral. So just encompassing everything. And then ultimately, really, really expand it to fill the entire universe with the knowledge that you are one with all that is. And smile. Because we're happy about that. Okay, come back to me. Thank you for the love. How many people feel a little bit lighter than they did before? Yay! That's a good hint as to what your consciousness is doing. If you feel lighter and lighter and lighter, your consciousness is getting higher and higher. When you're trapped in the physical, or if you stay in fear, which in this society is pretty easy to get sucked into, just take an inventory of your energy. You'll probably notice that you're feeling heavy and not grounded, but anchored, trapped, stuck And fear and worry will do that to you as quickly as love will get you out of it and up into a higher, lighter place. So that's a little technique you can try. I just made up the love bubble exercise, and one of the reasons I did that is because all my teachers and everything I've studied say that it's very, very important to nurture your higher consciousness with ceremony, and they all seem to agree that the best ceremony is the one you make up yourself, so that it's really, really personal. So you can use my love bubble and you can change it any way you like, or you can make up your own personal ceremony. But the key is to do something to nurture this consciousness every day. Now, this isn't such a new idea. How many of you already know about this nurturing consciousness and connecting with higher realms from Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep? Did you all do that? I pray the Lord my soul to keep. How many of you did a nightly prayer as a child?
That one, yeah.
That one? Yeah, okay. I'm not so keen on the next couple lines, so if you want to rewrite it instead of saying, if I die before I wake, which is a little grim for children, I think, you could make up a new line. Thank you for all I have, and that I am part of the all that is. And then go on to bless Grandma and Grandpa and Mommy and Daddy and my doggies and kitties. And, you know, it's a really good idea to do a love, gratitude, blessing ceremony. And that gets you straight to spirit every day, raises your consciousness. Or if you don't want to do that, could you, how many of you could spend 5 minutes a night doing a gratitude prayer? 5 minutes? 5 minutes a night only? Quick and fast? Because gratitude is also a fast track to higher consciousness. It says in one of my favorite daily books, it says, as we cultivate gratitude, our heart opens wider to love's blessings and to the sacred pulse of life. So that's a pretty good shortcut, don't you think, to a pretty great destination. So I would really encourage you to do some kind of ceremony every night before you go to bed, just so when you go to dreamland, you're in a really good state. Now, one of the things we did at the last 100th monkey meeting was we created intention candles. It's really tricky to show these on Zoom. You start with just a plain old white candle that you can buy at any grocery store, Super Save, for $2.50. And then you just have some Elmer's glue and odd bits and pieces and start sticking onto it sayings and phrases to remind you and to affirm and restate your intentions. You could light this every night, and as you light it, you could breathe in deeply, and you could do your gratitude prayer, or you could use my love bubble and make it your love bubble. But it's really fun. What to do is go through magazines, have your scissors and Elmer's glue, and then just cut out things that you want to remember every day. One of the things I cut out is I get to choose the thoughts that make me feel free and filled with life and love. I forget that sometimes, that I can choose. And the other one is believe, listen to the calling of your heart. And another one is a friend is the greatest treasure, a gift from heaven. And then I put little stars on it and bits of fabric, and you're free to be creative. It might take you an hour, it might be less. But it's easy to do, and I'll pass these around later so you can have a look. And it only takes as long as it takes to light a candle and just say a few words of gratitude or intention. That will keep you connected. The other thing I like to do daily is start my day with a positive thought or inspiration. I'm a big fan, as you've probably noticed, of Science of Mind. It's the same as daily, it's similar to Daily Reflections by Unity. Daily Word, sorry.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, this is a little not quite as biblical. So, and I'm going to pass around some things I've pulled out of the Daily Word, and also ways to subscribe to it. You can just take a photo or make a note of how to do that if you wish. And there's also one in here about how a special discount on the Unity one. But it's really nice to get yourself started in the day by lifting your consciousness, because you can pretty much guarantee that if you start it by watching the news, it's probably not going to have the desired effect. I used to be a news junkie, and now I'm like, ooh, no. It's good to be informed, but don't get stuck in it. Try to keep a positive thought even when everything else is not helping in that direction. These are also a great place to cut your sayings out for your candles, and pictures, and wildlife magazines are great for that. It's a really fun exercise, and then once it's made, you just have to remember to light it every night, which is actually a really lovely way to end the day. The other thing that I do, and have done for years, and my friend Jerry isn't here because he would tell you he's a perfect example.
Sorry, this is just slowly going south.
Like me.
Okay. When Jerry's partner died, he put sticky notes all around his house about, you're still alive, get on with it. Positive thoughts. I have sticky notes all over the place. Now I have 100th monkey badges all over the place that say, I am the 100th monkey. So I can take responsibility for being that, for keeping my consciousness high. So I would suggest that sticky notes is a great idea to put all over the house to remind you. I have them by my kitchen. One of them just says, did you see the flowers? They don't have to be complicated. This is not complicated. Remember, 70% of you is already there. All you're doing is finding ways to nourish that and connect with it, intermingle it with your physical being. And it's really fun. And actually, the sticky notes kind of make me giggle. It's surprising what I forget. When I first came here, I felt really, really ugly. And I they had very low self-esteem. And I bought a thing made out of a recycled sardine can at the Tusuke market. And it just had a picture of a beautiful Madonna in it, and it said, no matter how hard you try, you cannot deny your beauty. And it took me a long, long time to believe it, but I still have it hanging there. And it's really important to honor yourselves. You are a very important part of the all, each and every one of you. Without you, there's never going to be 100 monkeys. So, the other thing that a friend of mine does to remind herself, she's more techie than I am, so at 1 o'clock every day, my friend has her cell phone alarm go off to remind her to pray for peace for 5 minutes. So technology isn't all bad. We can take advantage of it. We can use it. One of the other things I do, I'm trying to hurry because I want to leave time for you to tell me what you do, share with me what you do. But another big part of my maintenance has become coming here. First of all, I get uplifting music, thanks to Jenny. And I also, my favorite part of this service, and the reason I started coming here in the first place was because it knocked my socks off, is when we sing our thoughts, our prayers. And we are always praying. Just think about that for a minute. Don't underestimate the power of your words. I looked up technology again. I thought, I'll just Google power of word in Bible. There's 27 references in the Old Testament about the power of your word. And, you know, there's also, I learn a lot from other religions and practices, and this daily practice, you know, Muslims pray 5 times a day. That's pretty amazing. So we can certainly spend 5 minutes morning and night, I think. But the other thing is, no matter what you do or what ceremony you do, I would really encourage you to have a routine, a ritual that you do from your heart. You can't just do it, you know, half-heartedly. It has to come from your heart, because that's the rocket fuel. But I found this online from Lao Tzu. I don't think there's any hope. I'm going to read it. I'll pass it around to you. But for Zoom people, I'll read it. Lao Tzu says, watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. So, wowee. And I'll pass all these around, and you can take pictures with your little techie devices so that you've got the information, and I don't waste a lot of paper printing them out. But the last time I was here, I talked to you about how I heightened my awareness and spiritual consciousness by traveling and exploring other religions. Well, I spent a lot of money and time doing that. And a lot of people don't have either the money or time. But because of all this technology, you can get so much information out there for free. I wish Abby was here because she has some kind of technique, you'll have to ask her, where she sends me these amazing little 3-second videos from YouTube and TikTok and all these wonderful words of wisdom that you can get faster than the speed of light, it seems. Technology can be a useful tool for good. There's also now, if you don't travel or you don't want to travel or you don't have the time or money to travel, just watch the History Channel on TV. Ancient Aliens, one of my favorite programs based on Eric Von Daniken and his ideas, they'll take you to every major sacred site on the planet. And that's how I discovered Göbekli Tepe. It was brought to my attention on TV with a TV show. And I thought, oh, gotta go. So I did. But you don't gotta go. You can have vicarious experiences of these sacred sites, or just, you know, watch someone on YouTube.
How did it feel when you were there? When you were at Göbekli?
Sorry?
How did it feel when you were there in Turkey?
Well, I had amazing experiences in Istanbul, and Göbekli Tepe was really a very special treat and very different to the other sacred sites I've gone to all over the world, like Machu Picchu and things, because it's still being excavated. They've only excavated like they say 1%, 10%. I don't know actually how they know unless you know anyway. But they do say that it's, and it is, only partially excavated. So I went there, you know, a few years ago. I could go back now and it would be a totally different experience because they're unearthing new things all the time. But just the awe, for me it was like a portal in time. The awe of seeing what people who maybe were my ancestors, certainly were my ancestors on some level, had created these T-pillars that are, you know, as tall as this roof or a bit higher, with beautiful, delicate carvings of animals and plants. So you could feel that they got it, that we're all connected, as above, so below, with animals and plants. Every time I see a butterfly, my heart flies. You know, it's important. So I'd like to know if any of you did that exercise of doing a spiritual journey recap, and if you found, or if you have anything that you do as a daily practice or you do to raise your consciousness. I'd love to hear what you do. Mike?
How about looking out at that mountain for 10 minutes? We have a great view here.
Yeah.
Mike said just if you're in Taos, look out at that Taos mountain for 10 minutes because we have an awesome view. And it's supposed to be one of the most powerful divas on the planet. Divas are energy portals, points.
The sacred site that means the most to me, and I think you'll agree, is here. That's the sacred site that I want to visit as often as possible.
Zach just said the sacred site that he honors most is here, inside, and he wants to visit that.
When we go to Göbekli
much.
Tepe or the Great Pyramid or Machu Picchu, we're really finding a path to this place.
That all sacred sites are a path to this inner sacred site. I think that's true, and they always do touch you emotionally.
Right.
You're not just looking at buildings. There is a spiritual component of those places that touches your soul.
I have a very grumpy grandson in the morning when I take him to school, and so I try and make a funny song. We just make up funny songs, and then he gets out of his little grumphood, and it really helps to just get him started on his day. And for me too, when whenever you're in a funk, you can just think of the stupidest, funniest song that you can think of. Sing happy birthday to yourself. Sing, whatever little tiny thing. It's amazing how you can really shift your energetic by just doing something silly.
That's true. Humor is great, but not sarcastic humor. It has to be
Genuine.
silly, funny humor is really good. If you poke yourself in the ribs and go, ha ha, I'm taking myself way too seriously. I do that quite a lot. Anything else? Anyone else?
Richard?
I got one.
Oh,
Richard,
sorry.
go first. Yeah. Go ahead first.
Well, at home, we do a bedtime ritual for our wonderful two charming doggies. We got our 50-pound girl and our 11-pound girl. And we close the day after we turn off the TV and take the little one out to pee. They each get a biscuit. And they would not let me forget that.
Okay, so you could give
bedtime biscuit for
give yourself a
wonderful
bedtime
girls.
biscuit. I like that. Amy, we've got to hurry. So
Okay, one of the things that I do on a regular basis is sing an ancient mantra called Hugh. And it's available to anybody from any religion. And I have a friend that I explained it to, and she's like, it's amazing all the answers I get and what, how things go better after I just remember to do this instead of, sticking in my funk.
exactly. Amy said that she chants a mantra called
Hugh.
Hugh.
Yeah.
Is that it, Amy?
Yeah, that's
H-U.
Hugh. Yeah. Well, that's.
Oh, you just chant Hugh over and over and
Yeah.
over.
And you can
Oh.
imagine going places. You can do your little love bubble. You can do any of that with it. But singing that mantra helps. Yeah.
Okay, singing the mantra. And there's a million books, and I did last month 3 workshops totally for free. One with Tony Robbins, with heavy hitters. Greg Braden, tapping workshop, James Van Prague. There's so much available. All you have to do is just stay curious, keep learning, because it all really helps fill out your spiritual life. And the other thing, were you raising?
Are you done? Yeah, I am. I'm just not stretching.
Oh.
I should be, though.
Okay, Dave thinks stretching helps
It
too.
feels,
Probably
well,
does.
yesterday I was walking on Italianos, and it's amazing that they've gotten, I guess, much more rain, because everything is growing up so high, and it's so beautiful. And these butterflies would come out, and they're crazy. They come right at you. And then they'll circle back again, and they keep circling back again. So it's like energetically, I want to say, I am that butterfly,
Exactly.
but realizing I am presence, and the butterfly and I are one. It was such a beautiful reminder of energetics
Yes.
work.
Dave just said that he gets surrounded by circles of butterflies and remembers that he is one with the butterflies. We are all one. And that's what I'd like you to remember when you leave is, I hope I've given you some tools or some ideas or techniques of things to try. And I hope I've nagged you just a teeny little, well, no, a lot, because I do that, to do something daily. Morning and night if you can, for whatever works for you, just to nurture your higher consciousness. Because each and every one of you, oh, and the other thing is, I think it's really important to stay out of fear and in love energy as much as you can, and to be of service. Try to do a random act of kindness every day. Just one random act of kindness every day. It raises the consciousness of all. So, please remember, each of you are the 100th monkey. Your heart, your soul, and your mind are an integral part, an important part of the all that includes everything. Thank you. Thank you.